Welcome to our Everlast Tech Support channel. Today we'll be working through an PT60 torch test guide for your I-Series plasma cutters and Power Pro series. We'll start off by removing your plasma consumables, your retaining cap, your copper tip, the brown swirl ring, and we're going to look at the chrome center electrode. We will want to make sure that there is no gap between the base of the electrode and the plasma torch head. To test the proper movement of the center electrode, I'm going to take an air nozzle and limit it to 70 psi and blow air into the center post of the torch to confirm the electrode is able to move properly on its own. Our next step will be to perform continuity testing on the cabling and the torch head. I'm going to connect one voltmeter lead to pin 7 and confirm that I only get continuity to the threads on the torch head. Now I'll move one of my leads to the center post and confirm that I only get continuity to the chrome center electrode. Now I'm going to confirm continuity on pin 9 to one of the retaining cap pins. Then I'll move my voltmeter lead to pin 2 to ensure I get continuity to the other pin. Now we'll move your voltmeter leads to pin 9 and pin 1, where we'll be testing continuity of the plasma torch trigger switch. I'm going to move one lead to pin number 2, so that as I thread on the retaining cap, I can ensure that it's providing good continuity as I tighten it down. When reassembling the consumables on the plasma torch, you'll always want to take note of the direction of the holes on the swirl ring. They will need to be facing in a clockwise rotation for a proper arc rotation. Next, we'll show you the continuity testing on a plasma torch for a multi-process machine. And we'll start by checking continuity of the trigger switch. The torch will need to be fully assembled with your voltmeter leads on pin 1 and pin 2. When the trigger is depressed, it should show you continuity. As you loosen the retaining cap, you'll notice that you lose continuity of the trigger circuit. So I'm going to remove the retaining cap, the copper tip, and the brown swirl ring, and we'll start testing continuity of the pilot arc circuit, confirming that we only get continuity to the threads on the torch head. Now testing the continuity on the main power cable should only show continuity to the chrome center electrode. If you did not get continuity when testing the torch trigger switch, we will want to test from the 7-pin connector to each of the retaining cap pins. Pin 1 should go directly to one of the retaining cap pins, and pin 2 will break between the trigger switch. So the torch trigger switch will need to be depressed to be able to measure continuity to the other pin. To check the connections in the Euro handle, we'll want to open the plastic body, to remove the back nut, and remove the Phillips screw. You will want to lightly push each cable farther into the connector to ensure that the pin has properly seated into the sleeve. You can rotate the body of the Euro connector around to access all 5 conductors. When reinstalling the body set screw, you'll notice that it lines up with the center notch in between pin 9 and pin 2. Be sure to remove the consumables before opening the plasma torch handle. Once we have the torch head open, we can do a visual inspection. Look at the head internals for any burn marks or damage, any pinched cabling, or a wire pulled off of a connector. When you go to reassemble the plasma torch handle, you'll need to place the trigger switch and hook the spring back onto the trigger guard before placing and tucking all the wires back into the handle and screwing on the cover. And you will not need to force the cover back on, but you might need to wiggle or line up the trigger safety or the trigger switch. And don't forget, when you're reinstalling your swirl ring, it is directional, and you want to make sure that those holes are facing in a clockwise rotation. Thank you for working with us today. We hope this video has helped locate or rule out this accessory as an issue.